Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to Red Therapy. Today we are going to get these bits on the bumper done, pulled out, the little bits that have been pushed in, we're going to pull those back out, we're going to put the new bracket on, get the bumper on, get the back wheels on, put it back on the floor, and then we're going to have a go at this hatch. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I did this the other day, this bit. I think this bit's okay now. Oh, I'll tell you what I do want to do. As I'm doing this, I want to disconnect the battery. Right, battery's disconnected. Okay, so I think that's straight now anyway. Once we drill that out and get the new one on, we can make sure that is, but I'm pretty sure that's pulled out sufficiently. Might have to even tap it back a little bit, but we'll see. So the other bit I need to do is this bit down here, which is slightly folded in. That's coming back nicely. Not sure how far back it's has to come, so we'll look at the other side. Yeah, it should be straight. That. I mean, this is only, you know, visual. It's not affecting anything whatsoever. But I want to get it straight anyway. That's pretty much back, I think. One more go. Yeah, that will do nicely. That's it, that's that bit done. Okay, I thought I would get all the stuff out of the boot. I've just given this a bit of a hoover in here, just to clean it up. There was lots of, you know, the usual sort of boot debris. Just sort of have a look, just to double check to make sure there's no other damage in here. And I have actually found something. So what we've got here, which is again strange, but here we have an indentation going that way, going outwards, which is a bit odd. And if we look around the other side, you can see that's where that little crease is. It's actually created a bulge just there. So it's obviously where that's done that, hasn't it? It's yeah, it's just created a bulge. The other side there is flat, maybe even slightly indented like it's supposed to be, whereas that's got a bulge. So that's all that is that's just the energy's come up there, creased that and created a bulge. So all I'm going to just get a block of wood on there with a hammer and just knock that back. Again, it's only, you know, it's not, it's just a visual thing again. Apart from that, it's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to do that now, and then we can get the bumper back on, I think. Don't think, oh, we've got to do the bracket. We'll put the new, we'll drill out the rivets on that and get the new bracket on. And well, I've got to offer it up first, make sure that I've straightened that bit out properly. I think I'm pretty certain I have, but we just need to double check. Okay, so that's that all done as best I can do. So there was a little bit of the sealant, which now it's pushed back, it's sort of closed up, but because that sealant was broken, I will put some more sealant in. Before I put all that back in, I'll paint a little bit more seam sealant on. This it had just split it. So new brackets on. That was obviously pulled out enough. Well, it's straight now, so you barely even notice it. And I think we need to offer the bumper up now. Let's put it on. Obviously we've already had it on once, so it should slip in okay now. Make sure these holes are lined up. Push it home on there. That fits in there nice. Yep. That fits in there nice. I didn't have to replace that other bracket. Remember I said to you on the last video, it was such a tiny tab. It was a tab that was broken, it was right at the very back. It doesn't actually make any difference, so I've left it. There was absolutely no need to replace it. So that's in there perfect. all the way around, perfect. So I am just going to put the lights back on, do up the bolts. I may replace, if I've got one, the arch liner on the driver's side, because it's a bit split where the screws go in. So I might do that. I'll see if I've got one first. If not, I'll put a couple of washers in there to sort of hold it in place. It's just the plastic's a little bit split where the I couldn't get the screw out and it had to be sort of ripped out, for want of a better description. Right, so yeah, let's get this, let's get the lights on, get it all back together, and then we'll be back. Okay, that's all on. Everything's all the bolts are done up, wheels back on floor, as you just saw. Now, I know some of you like attention to detail, so I've painted these wheels, as you saw. Obviously, we always put some masking tape over that so it doesn't get painted, but I put masking tape over the weights as well, so they didn't get painted. Attention to detail, eh? What a professional I am. Right, so now there's a couple of things I need to do before I carry on. I've got a parcel that I've got to send of a part that I sold that I've had for probably 2 years. I bought 2 of them, fuel pipes. Let me show you. So this is the fuel pipe that goes to from the fuel rail, goes all the way underneath the car to the fuel tank. And I bought 2 of them, thinking I needed 2 of them, and I didn't need either of them. I sold one, and I've just sold this one. So it's a really awkward thing to wrap up, but I've got to get that in the post today. And I've also got to go down to the dry cleaners down the road, as I've mentioned on previous bits and pieces, to get that, see if we can get that seat repaired. And if they won't do it, or if they can't do it, I will take it down to the retrimmers where I took the last one. So I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to put this out, and now this is down on the floor. It is insured, it's taxed, it's MOT'd. I'm just going to make sure the tax is still valid, because I have sent off for the sent the V62 off. So before I do that, I just want to make sure it is, and I'll get it out on the road. Just to, so my ex, because living where I live and the parking nightmare. As soon as I move that car, I'll lose the space, so I'm just going to swap them around temporarily while I go down the road. Just wanted to show you something on my X. Spot something missing? Some bar steward nicked my aerial. I bought one on eBay and it don't fit. It fits the Sport, but the thread is a different size and it don't bloody fit. So that was, I thought it was stolen here, but I looked at my CCTV and it wasn't. It was actually stolen when I was parked at work in this nice little beautiful private estate. Thought it would be the safest place to park my car. And some bar steward has nicked me aerial. How annoying. Anyway, yes, enough of that waffle. We'll get all this done and then we'll come back and we'll make a start at long last on this hatch. It does worry me slightly, as I've mentioned more than once, but we need to attempt it and get it done. Funnily enough, that gap is actually pretty much, although we know it's got to come down very, very slightly, that end, but it ain't, apart from that, it looks pretty spot on actually. If you looked at that gap from here on its own, you wouldn't even notice the difference. But what I noticed the other day is if you press down like that, it closes it all up. So it ain't a lot, it's really not a lot. Let's just hope I can do it. Anyway, see you back for you very shortly, from me in about half hour or so. Okay, just got back from the dry cleaners down the road. Unfortunately, I missed the tailor. The tailor just works, you know, does what he needs to do and then goes. He's not back till Saturday. And the chap I spoke to, I think he's the owner of the dry cleaners, says that he don't think it can be done because he doesn't think the needle travel is big enough or strong enough, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, this is just, you know, soft material. I said, if they were altering a pair of jeans, that's tougher. So he said, well, the bloke's back on Saturday morning. So I was going to go somewhere. He suggests going to a shoe repairers, but I thought, no, that's not the right place. I'm still dubious as to whether they can, because I went in there and he said about, oh, I don't know if they'd have what do you call it, a cotton that was a yarn that was strong enough. And I said, well, funny you should say that. I said, because it actually needs to be a fairly weak yarn. So, I mean, he's not the tailor, he's just the bloke who owns the dry cleaner, so he probably don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it will be down to the tailor as to whether he think he can do it and do it properly. But I've got to wait till Saturday. What is it today? Wednesday today. So I'll go down there Saturday morning, speak to him again, and if it's no good, then I'll take a trip down to the other place, which is only a mile down the road. So I think taking it to a shoe repairers, it seems a bit daft to me, but there you go. Anyway, so it's still in the back of the X at the moment. Slight delay, but hopefully we'll get it at least booked in and, you know, in sort of in production, if you like, come Saturday. But now comes that time. I've been trying to put it off for as long as possible. Not really, but we've got to do this hatch. So I think what I'm going to do, obviously I'm going to try lots of different things, manipulating and what have you. If I'm lucky, the first thing I try might work, which is loosening off the 13mm bolts, taking off the striker plate and shutting it, see what happens, moving it around, see what happens. So it may take a bit of jiggery pokery. I may not be able to do it, you know, there might be something else amiss, but because it's not very much, I'm hoping that I might be able to do it. So I'm not going to really know until such time as I, you know, do that with its first shut and try it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up on time lapse. If I get to the bottom of it, I will come back in and I will tell you exactly what I've done. Hopefully you'll see in time lapse what I've done anyway, but yeah, I'm going to set you up and we'll get on and see if we can get this done. Oh, by the way, when I put it out on the road, there's some creaking coming from the back, so I think shock absorbers are going to need replacing. I think it was a real noise. So yeah, it's going to be on the originals, obviously. So yeah, I'll have to get some of those ordered and replace those, I think. Anyway, let's get on, get this hatch done. So I just thought I'd come in and show you again. So I've had as you've seen me manipulating it, and I've actually got it much better on this side now. Much better. It's almost perfect, but it's thrown this side out. So this side is pretty much almost like the other side was. So I think it is just a matter of manipulating it and getting a happy medium. Maybe I'm not going to get it perfect, but if the other side was okay, that would be fine. I could live with that. It's in, as far as I'm concerned, that's in a good, decent position. So see if I can get the other side to go in. The trouble is, when I move the other side, it's going to push that side out. But what I've done is I put the catch back on, because I was trying to. So again, this is the sort of thing that you really want two people for, because I was trying to hold it down, pull it across to the right position, but of course as soon as I let go of it, it pops up. So I needed someone to really sort of hold it, and then me getting in the car. But I've done that one up, shoved it across, done that one up, and it has made that one right. If I can just get this one to go right now. So we'll go back on time lapse and we'll keep fiddling, and hopefully eventually we'll get a happy medium between the two. Weird, really strange. I think it is the hinges. I think the hinges are, although those bolts were really uptight on the hinges, but which makes me think, you know, did they shift or have they bent? I suppose really what I should have done, I mean, what my intention was, if I couldn't do it this way, which, you know, I still haven't done it properly this way, although it's okay there, it's not there. If I was getting absolutely nowhere, what I was going to do is get the other hinges out and one at a time change them, which I may still have to do, but hopefully not. So we'll crack on. We'll put you back on time lapse, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. Okay, done. It was a pain, and it was just a matter of backwards and forwards. I did change one of the hinges. I think you might have seen. I can't remember whether I said that in real time or not. It's not perfect, but it's pretty flush there. Very slightly high, but the gap's okay. And the gap is very slightly bigger on this side. Very slightly. I'm being fussy. It is very slightly bigger on that side than it is on that side, but I don't think anyone particularly noticed. It's not perfect, but it's a happy medium between the two. So I don't know whether it was the hinges or what it was. The gap up there is okay, that's equal all the way across. I thought, first of all, that gap was too big, but then I looked at the sport and it's about the same. So they are quite a big gap there. I don't know why they're quite so big. But they all seem to be like that. I've had that issue before, thinking the gap was too big. But the gap at the bottom there is pretty much equal. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get. It is still very slightly high there, whereas that one's spot on. But yeah, it's, as I say, it's a happy medium between the two sides. That's the best I can do. Still don't really understand why it's like it, but it's done. So now, because I've got the airbag done, and because I've got that now done, I'll get the headlining back in. So let's do that. It's a weight off my mind there. I would have preferred it to be a bit better, but I've spent quite a long time on it now. And you get one side in and it puts the other side out, you go back a little bit on that and it puts the other, it's just nightmare. So, I mean, I only did change one hinge. And it did initially, I mean, it could have been in a slightly different position, I suppose. Initially, it did seem to be a lot better. Although when I had that side perfect, that side was well out. That side was a mirror image of what that used to be. But it's fine. It's fine. That will be sufficient. And it opens and closes absolutely perfectly. Look at that. Perfect. In fact, it closes better than it did before, to be fair. Because it made a bit of a clonk before, now it doesn't. Okay, that's it. Right, so let's get the headlining in. Right, that's that. All back together. I've put the seam sealer down there. It's grey, so a different colour. Put that down there. Yeah, all back together. Excellent. Not too bad at all. I've also given it a hoover out. The other bits I couldn't get to. I'm going to put this door card on as well now. Now the car's a little bit further out. So internally, apart from the seat, internally the only things I've got to do now are the seat belt and pre-tensioner. Obviously the seats have got to be cleaned, and I will take the seats out. Once I get the cover back, I'll take the remaining seats out and clean them out of the car. Steering wheel as well. Look at the state of that steering wheel. I'm not going to bother cleaning that just yet because of my dirty hands on it all the time. No point cleaning that yet. I'm going to go around and clean all the plastics the other side just for their first clean, like I did on all this. Yeah, that's good. So what else? Obviously we've still got to do that scratch. I've got to paint the front wheels like I've done the rear wheels. So when we turn it round, we'll get the wheels off and we'll do the same on those. Brand spanking new tyres all round. And round the front, the only thing we've got to do is take the bumper off and repair that. And obviously the DRL as well. Got to repair all that. That should be the only thing we've got left to do on there. And then I will take it for another spin, but as I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of creaking coming from the back, so I think the shocks are shocked. I think they're going to need replacing. As I say, it is on the originals. Not that it's done massive miles, of course. I've done 30 something, and it's, what is it? I mean, it's 2014, so yeah, it's what, 7 or 8 years old. So you don't think of 2014 as being 7 or 8 years old, do you? It seems like a couple of years ago. Mind you, 1980s seems about 5 years ago, but that's just me being an old git. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, so we've not got an awful lot left to do. I'm contemplating whether I should get it MOT'd or not. MOT don't run out to December, and it's currently what, towards the end of April, so by the time it's finished it'll be May. So we've got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I've got 7 months MOT left on it. I don't know whether to get it MOT'd or not. I normally do. I didn't with Blue Therapy because it had like 10 months left on it. I might do, we'll see. I might get it done. I've still got to track down the service history, of course. Maybe see what that shows as well. So yeah, it's taxed, insured, MOT'd. It can go parking out on the road now. In which case tomorrow we can get Project Ruby down the drive and get that door done, finished off. I have already started it, but you haven't seen the video yet. But I have already started it and I just need to do a bit more. I've improved it, we just need to improve it a bit more. And then once we've done that, we can get that down the body shop and then that can go for MOT. And then we had that noise, that whirring noise, which may be an auxiliary belt, or might be the alternator. So I've got to investigate that, but that's another project. Anyway. Okay, morning, welcome back. I compiled the video last night and decided that it's only about 30 minutes long, so I thought I would do a bit more for this video. Don't want to make the videos too long, and obviously my waffling makes them a little bit longer, so I'll try and stop waffling in this part of the video. So today I am going to do the seat belt, I'm going to do the pre-tensioner, and I'm going to try and do, at least get it started, the bumper repair. So as you know, we've got this piece of plastic here which has come out, which is broken. We're going to plastic weld that back in place. We're going to plastic weld that round the back, rub that down, drill it, do a groove, fill it, paint it. We'll see if I can get that done today, at least get it repaired, you know, even if I don't get it painted. Obviously the filler needs to dry first. I think I've got some plastic filler as well, so I'll use plastic filler rather than ordinary filler. So yeah, that's the plan. Obviously we can repair that at the same time. That needs, obviously that's come off, you can see that needs to be stuck back on with glue, so that'll have to go off before the bumper goes back on anyway. So that's the plan today. There you go, all done. Ow, bang me head. All done. That was, I'll get quicker and quicker at these. It took me 20 minutes, I reckon. 20 minutes, half hour at the most. I've also cleaned up all the back panels with the old elbow grease, both sides, and given it a hoover as well, because it was rotten, as they always are under these seats, especially when it's had kids sitting in them. So that's another job done. So this is actually now, I suppose, to all intents and purposes, this is now roadworthy. Apart from the fact you've got a better seat. I mean, that doesn't really, I suppose you could say that the airbag is accessible, I guess, but to all intents and purposes it's now road legal. So yeah, taxed, MOT'd and insured. I am going to clean this steering wheel. I'll clean the dash. The dash was covered in an enormously thick, at least an inch thick, of dust, which I've cleaned off. So this will be getting a nice proper going over with what is this stuff? This is the stuff that Danny, I think it was Danny, it's all in the detailing, recommended to me. This Auto Bright pink sheen interior satin finish. I'm sure it was him that recommended this to me. It's really good stuff. The mistake that I made with this is squirting it on the surface rather than on the cloth. It's uneven if you do it that. If you squirt it onto the cloth and then wipe the cloth onto the surface, you get a much better finish. But it's a really nice smell, and it comes up with a really nice finish. So I'll be going over the car with that. I'll also be using my ozone machine to ozone it, you know, kill any germs and what have you that's in it. Obviously that one of those was recommended to me, not a specific ozone generator, but couple of people suggested I buy one. Obviously I have got that smoke machine with the flavoured things, but I'm not really using that now, to be honest. I probably will use it at some point, but at the moment I'm using that ozone generator because it does leave a rather odd smell, and then of course I use air fresheners. So in theory I suppose I could use the ozone generator and the smoke machine. The trouble with the smoke machine is it leaves a little bit of a film over everything, but it does make it smell nice and it does last. So what I've got, you might see a brown box there. I've got another parcel that I've got to take down to the parcel shop, the Hermes shop, or Every as they're now called. Do you know why they're called Every? It's because they lose every parcel. They're going to probably sue me now. Yeah, actually, I say that, they've touched wood, my head. I think out of all the parcels I've sent, and I've sent a lot of parcels, trust me, over the years, not just car parts, other stuff that I used to sell on eBay years ago. I think they've only ever lost 2 parcels in all the hundreds of parcels that I've sent, unless I've sent a big one. If you send a big one, I've sent 2 bumpers, so you've got like 2 metre tall boxes wrapped in black plastic, and yeah, massive, great big things, taller than me, and they've lost both of them. Never to be seen again. And yeah, no compensation either, because I did it through Parcel Monkey. If you do it through Parcel Monkey, it's the Hermes heavy. What do they call it? Heavy and large or something. I mean, it is Hermes, but it gets picked up in a truck. But yeah, you don't get the same compensation as if you book it direct with the courier, which is really annoying. Which is how they obviously give you the cheaper prices on Parcel Monkey. So a word of warning there. Anyway, we digress. So I can't stand this steering wheel, I've got to clean it. So I'm going to get the elbow grease on it and give it a good clean. Okay, so I've just taken the car out, taken my parcel to the parcel shop, and then I went down to the proper auto vehicle re-trimmers. I thought, let's not mess around with the dry cleaners. They don't really seem to, I don't really think they're going to be able to do it, and it just delays it for an extra couple of days. So I went down there, spoke to him on the phone. He sounded really stressed, really busy, bloke on his own. So I've just been down there and 50 quid for cash. So I think that'll do. Yeah, so 50 quid. And he said he'll fit it in, it won't take him long, so he'll fit it in. So hopefully I'll get back at the beginning of next week, and then we can get it on, and this car will almost be finished then. But for the time being, that's the end of this video. So as always, thanks for watching. I anticipate your comments, and I thank you for them already. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload the next video. Thank you for watching, take care, stay safe, and we will see you on the next one.